There's some real election interference going on in the Republican Party right now, but it's not being caused by the Russians, and it's not being caused by the Chinese, and it's not even being caused by the Democrats. It's an intra-Republican election interference. This is targeting my friend Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert is a member of Congress from Colorado, and, well, I'll take you through the timeline. There's another Colorado Republican member of Congress. His name is Ken Buck. Ken Buck said that he was going to retire at the end of this cycle. Now, Lauren, who won her race last time by a pretty tight margin, Lauren, who's dealt with a lot of attacks from the liberal media and scandals and all the rest of it, she decides she's going to run in Ken Buck's district. She's not going to have to primary him. He's going to leave. It's a more conservative place. She feels better off there running there than in her present district. So she's just going to run there for the next cycle. This happens. The districts change sometimes. The members of Congress they'll start out representing New York's 19th district. Then it turns out they represent New York's 18th district. And just that sort of thing happens. However, when Lauren made clear that she was going to run for Ken Buck's old seat, Buck decides he's not going to serve the rest of his term. Buck is going to quit immediately, which triggers a special election. Now, you'd say, okay, well, if it triggers a special election before the main election in November, then I guess Lauren can just run in the special election, right? Wrong, because Lauren, who's the most visible candidate who would be running for that seat, would have to resign her current seat in Congress in order to run in the special election to replace Ken Buck, because she's not going to be able to hold two seats in Congress. Okay, so then what? So now what's going to happen is there's going to be a special election on primary day, and someone is going to be running in the special election to replace Buck, who's retiring early, and obviously for the next cycle, which is going to be coming up months later. So then what happens? You've got the most extreme version of having to split a ticket that you've ever seen. You vote for one guy to win the district in the special election, and then vote for Lauren Boebert or whoever else you might want to elect there in the main election. Crazy. How did it happen? It's obviously a way to get Lauren out of Congress, because a lot of people in the Republican Party don't like her, especially from the squishier wing of the party, don't like her. They feel she's too outspoken. They feel she's too, eccentric. And so they want to get her out. Now, I'm not a voter in Colorado. I don't occupy either of these districts. The voters can make their own decision. Maybe there are other candidates. Lauren's the most visible one because she's a sitting member, but there are other people who are running for this seat. My only observation is that the fact that the establishment GOP is so hell-bent on getting her out of Congress that they would go to these extraordinary lengths to prevent her from winning re-election in November seems to be pretty decent evidence that we should keep her there. That's it. That's all I'm saying about Colorado. I don't know. The voters of Colorado can make their choice, but the squishy part of the GOP is really going to great lengths to get rid of this lady, which to me speaks in her favor. Right now, go to expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like forgetting to mute yourself on a Zoom meeting and having everyone hear your side conversation with your coworker. Might be a little bit of harmless banter, I hope. What if you say something that you don't want everyone else to hear? You ever think about that? Probably pretty embarrassing. Internet service providers track every single website you visit. They can sell this information to ad companies and tech giants who then use it to target you with their ad programs. But ExpressVPN reroutes your network data through a secure encrypted tunnel so your internet service provider can't see or sell your online data. Sounds very complicated. I don't understand it at all. But ExpressVPN, I do understand because it's that simple to use. Just fire up the app, click one button, one subscription works for all of your devices, your phone, your laptop, even your routers, so everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can be protected too. Here at the Daily Wire, we're proud to have ExpressVPN as our top privacy partner because we believe everyone should be able to protect themselves from big tech's prying eyes. Protect your online privacy by visiting expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show today. That is expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show to get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. Speaking of Republican infighting, the former vice president to President Trump and current cycle presidential candidate, though he's obviously since dropped out, Mike Pence, was just asked, will you endorse Trump? Now that the primary is over, remember everyone at the presidential debate signed that pledge saying they would support the eventual nominee. And then it seems a number of them are going back on that pledge. Ron DeSantis honored the pledge. A number are going back on it. Here's Mike Pence's answer.
It should come as no surprise that I will not be endorsing Donald Trump this year. During my presidential campaign, I made it clear that there were profound differences between me and President Trump on a range of issues. Donald Trump is pursuing and articulating an agenda that is at odds with the conservative agenda that we governed on during our 4 years. And that's why I cannot, in good conscience, endorse Donald Trump in this campaign.
Okay, fair enough. Those guys have some pretty personal beef. If I were Mike Pence, I probably would not be very happy with Donald Trump. So I get it. I totally understand. In as much as the Republican presidential candidates said they would back the eventual nominee, I guess they should do that. But I get it. At a personal level, I totally get why Mike Pence doesn't want to back this guy who went after him when he was serving with him, when Trump went after him pretty hard and effectively ended Pence's political career. I get it. Okay. That's a personal beef. It's not really a political argument. So again, I'm not judging Mike Pence at all. I totally understand it. It's fine. What about the other guys? What about the other candidates? I'm not talking about DeSantis here, but I'm talking about some of the other Republican presidential candidates who refused to endorse Trump. What's their argument? What about some of the squishes, the liberal Republicans who seem like they'll either sit on their hands or might even consider voting for Biden? What's their excuse? Mitt Romney. I know, I get it. All these guys, they have a little bit of personal beef. With Pence, I think it's a little more intense, and Pence's anger at President Trump is a little bit more understandable than, say, someone like Mitt Romney. But put the personal stuff aside. I don't care about their personal beef. I care about the direction of the country. For all these liberal Republicans who don't have intense personal grievances with regard to the president, what's the argument? I don't see one. I don't see any good argument, political argument involving policy, involving the public, involving the fight against Joe Biden and the Democrats. I don't see one good argument not to reelect Trump if you are in any way conservative, if you are in any way Republican. Barring some intense personal grievance, like you served the guy as vice president and you had a terrible falling out, what's the political argument? Can anyone articulate that to me? There are still some squish Republicans who are saying, I'm not voting for this guy. I'm too angry about the primary. Okay, so your political argument is it's better for Biden to win? The country's better off if Biden wins? Give me a break. Totally ridiculous. That was a good clip, huh? It was, and we all agree, and everyone's talking about it. So ring the bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.